So just when you thought we were done with Bondo, here we go again. You can never get into enough Bondo. So this game seems to be working fine without this wire connected. So we're going to snip him off. Again, not sure why someone put this wire here. But we're just going to take him off for now because it doesn't look like we're needing him. Woo, gone. All right. I want to check our solder connection right here where our ribbon cable hooks up. Check and make sure that our blue is good. And pull our little plastic locks. Undo our jumper cables here. Okay. Good boy. So right off the bat, I'm noticing that our connectors, our pins are soldered onto this surface, the facing surface, running down here. And I'm seeing where they connect to RGB, to these little jumpers here. Now these caps are bent over pretty hard. I wonder if they're, I'm sure they might have something to do with this. We can try to reflow some solder and maybe that'll get us somewhere. Let's go see what we can do. And really gently trying to lift up this plastic anchor on the pins here, because one, this plastic will melt when I start heating them up, and two, they're soldered on this side, so this is the side that needs to be soldered. And oh man, I'm already seeing a pin that looks really questionable. And it really looks like it may be our blue. So we may be onto something here. Get our solder irons set up and going here. A little water for our sponge. We need some more magnification on this. You know, guys, I kind of did this wrong. The correct thing to do would have been to get a meter and ohm that out and follow it. And I kind of just jumped on the soldering iron. All right, make sure you get the biggest ridiculous meter you can. Okay. All right, we're gonna plug this back into our Donkey Kong, see if we got any improvements with our work that we did there. Now let's see if we've lost everything now. I'm still not getting blue. Still not getting blue, guys. We were having a graphics issue whenever we wiggled that connector. I would lose sync. I'm able to wiggle the connectors now, and I'm not losing sync. So we did improve that by reflowing the solder joints, but we still don't have the color blue, and we have got to find out where our blue is. No, it's not the monitor, because we've tried another board and it works fine. Oh man, don't know where to go with this. Don't know where to go with this. I'm kind of putting a little pressure on these caps. Maybe there's a broke leg on one. I don't know, guys. May have to call in some help on this one. We got to get something done today. All right, so I got Joe down here playing while I'm messing with stuff back here in the back. And we got right down here to 2E and 2F. And we noticed that when we wiggle these around a little bit. Anything, Joe?
Oh, it came back. Oh, yeah, right there.
All right, so it looks like it's 2E is our culprit right there. And there's our blue. We got a gorgeous screen there. Man, that screen's looking good. Ooh. Oh! 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 All right, so what we're going to try to do next is when Joe gets done with a few more test cycles, we're going to pull this rod, clean the legs on it, and reseat it. And hopefully that's got our problem fixed, our color issue there. All right, now that we got that taken care of, we know we ain't going to pull this monitor again. Now we're going to lay it down on the side and work on some side art. Actually, no, we can't do that. All right, whatever this monitor was in before, it had some double-sided tape that held the shroud down. So we're going to trim that off. I got some double-sided mounting tape here. I'm just going to take some brake clean. Make sure I don't get it on any paint. Get that with some world's finest glass cleaner. The shroud back in. All right, just make sure I don't snag or tear anything. Okay, I think I'm gonna be able to get away with putting a piece down here in the corner, on each corner, and I think that's gonna be all I'll really need. We got our shroud taped in, sitting in there. I think that's going to work just fine. I am pleased with that. Something else I wanted to do here is I've got this foam padding. I'll have to trim it a little bit narrower. I want to put it in the bottom so that the bezel has something to lay on, so it's not rattling and bumping around. And I don't know, if something's loose, it feels cheap to me. So I like things to have a nice tight fit, so that's what we're gonna do here. We got this pipe insulation here, and it's gonna be about that long. Okay, now it just needs a straight edge and a board to cut this on. We're running out of work surfaces. All right, there you go. Might be time for a new blade. I don't know why this thing's dull. I said I should never have to sharpen it. I guess they meant I needed to change the blade. There we go. Let's give that another shot. We can do a lot better than that. Much better. All right. That's where I want to put him, right in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get one side started in there, and then I'm going to lay this out. How it's going to go. Looks good, and then I'm going to start peeling the paper off. All right, now let's see how our bezel sits. It's definitely sitting tighter. Okay, top is still a little bit loose, but that's because there's not really anything behind there for it to rest against. So, might have been at one time, but it's no longer on this cabinet. But I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. That is definitely solid. Something that we've forgotten about that I nearly forgot about until I was back there. We still don't have any of the little roller wheels on the back of this thing. So we're gonna have to go rob some off of DK3. So I'm gonna spare you that, but I'm fixing to go get those wheels off and we're gonna see what it's gonna take to put them on here. Be right back. All right, guys, so my metric bolt assortment is not that strong. I was able to get some of the bolts out of that cabinet, out of that Donkey Kong 3, but when I re-braced the bottom of that thing, I kind of covered it up with wood with a 2x4, so there's no getting those bolts back out unless I cut the bottom of that cabinet off, and I'm not going to do that. So we're going to call it a night. We're going to come back tomorrow night and we're going to get these wheels on. I'm getting really close to wrapping this up. I'm really excited. I got to go to work. Just got called in, so we'll be back out here tomorrow. Tis the plan anyway. All right, so it's another night. Got us some bolts, put our wheels on. A little bit of trouble getting these bolts to go in the holes. I think they might go. Let's see. All right, we're gonna try to knock some stuff out tonight. All right, looks like those are gonna go through there just good. All right, we got all 4 bolts through. So we got 2 bolts on the top right here. Okay, it just got wheeled. While I got this thing down on the side, here it goes. We're gonna get ready. We're fixing to put some Sideart on this cabinet. Fixing to peel the skin off this. We're going to pull those bolts out. We're going to figure out what position we're gonna put our Sideart on. And we're fixing to stick it to it. All right, guys, this isn't good. All right, we got a chip right here, a chip in our formica right here on the front corner. I'm not very happy with that. As of right now, it is what it is. We'll come back and see what we can do about that later. In the meantime, get this plastic film off. I've already peeled the plastic off the other side, so this might take a while. Let's speed this up a little bit. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, let's screw that up. I'm hoping that I can take this these side bolts out without the monitor falling out of it. Now, let me get that in there. There's the monitor in the way. All right, let's see. So somebody just randomly in the factory was just slapping these on in the factory, so there wasn't really any special procedure. They just did what looks good, so we're gonna try to do that ourselves. Whatever looks good. All right, guys, so we don't want to scratch up our artwork here, so we're gonna put a little protection there to keep from scuffing that up. All right, and I see a lot of people, I know a lot of people, you know, spray it down with water and just smack it on there, float it around and squeegee it off, and I don't do it like that. I just don't work for me, I guess. We're gonna do it this way. All right, we're gonna get that clamped in place, and take our weights off there. All right, I'm gonna clean that off real good right there. You know what, guys? All right, guys, so right here, I don't know if you can see it, but where our bolts went, both from the previous Sideart, or the previous, before I did anything, before we started, and afterwards where I put those bolts in, it is crushed and made two little dimples right there. And I know when I put that Sideart on, those bolts are going to tighten down and they're going to pull through that Sideart too. And I'm not liking it. So just when you thought we were done with Bondo, here we go again. You can never get into enough Bondo. All right, so we just need a little bit here, just a little bit. Yeah, that's not how you want to do that. Okay. All right, let's start again. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put this Sideart over this. We're just going to get it down tomorrow, and by then that'll be hardened. Drill through our holes again, we'll be good to go. Now I'm going to find the best way to wrap this squeegee up in a cloth or paper towel. Probably like that. That'll give us a nice, smooth but firm surface to push air bubbles out with. So now, the moment of truth. And we got this on video, so that way we can see how bad I'm going to mess this up. Once again, one shot to get it right. And this is a lot easier when you got somebody to help you, so they can hold the art over there while you look around and wonder where you did with what you did with those scissors you just had in your hand. Okay, now we're going to go right here. Like that. All right, very gently, very slowly, we're going to start laying that down. You know what, if you're right-handed, you might want to be on the right side. And I've got the camera set up catching absolutely nothing. Oh boy, I could have done a lot better on that. All right, now that the top half is on, we're going to unlock this. We'll set that off. And we're going to clean this side and get ready to do it. You know, I did the whole side of a centipede. I had help on my centipede. Gyrus, I did the stencils, and they were vinyl side art that you put on, and you pulled out the cut sections as you painted this, and it was basically side art that doubled as a stencil. And I didn't have any problems. I got that on good, but leave it to this little thing, and I'm gonna get bubbles all in it. Did that all wrong. All sorts of wrong. All right. All right, I got a few bubbles in there. Oh man, I got a lot of bubbles in there. This is probably the worst I've ever done. And of course I got it all on camera. So that way the world can see how not to do side art. How not to do side art. Oh boy. All right, we'll give it, we're gonna see these little bubbles. We'll have to probably go and pinprick them and work those out. All right, some of them may come out tomorrow with time. I just don't want to push on them too hard because it will stretch and wrinkle the decal. Actually did pretty good. I don't see any wrinkles or any stretches in it, so didn't do too bad. Just not my best work. And this should have come out perfect. This should have been a lot better. This should have been easy. Not happy with this. All right, well, we'll get back out here tomorrow night and we'll see how it looks, make some adjustments, and then we'll turn it over and do the other side. All right, you can see, I don't know how well these are showing up in the camera, but I got bubbles all over this thing. This is without a doubt the worst I've ever done, okay? This is amateur stuff here, which I guess I'm an amateur anyway, but man, I've done this before. I don't know why it turned out so bad. I think I just rushed it, got into a hurry. Oh, I'm about ready to pull all this off and start over again, just order new side art. I guess I need to just break down and learn how to do the wet method. That way I can just spray this down, slap it on there, run a squeegee over it. Maybe even invest in a real squeegee instead of my little slap together one that I've always used. All right. Now we have to drill our holes back through right here for our monitor bracket. Smooth these down. We're going to make sure we get these tight, but not tight enough to crack it or damage anything like we did the first time. I like that right there. Now these bolts actually have jam nuts on them. Take your 2 wrenches and lock them together. Can't get your other wrench out. It's just kind of permanently stuck in there. All right, now we can get down on this side.